A quick note before we get into the episode. Oversharing is a podcast for entertainment purposes only. It is not a medical podcast and does not constitute medical or psychological advice. Always seek the advice of your physician or mental health professional. Let's do some intentions. Hi, Jordana and Dr. Naomi. Thank you both for everything you do on the podcast. I always look forward to new episodes. Jordana, congratulations on the pregnancies. Thank you. I'm looking for an intention that might be a little silly. I recently moved, and while my commute to work is much shorter, 2 days a week I drop my dog off at my parents', and my route home from there has changed. Instead of taking a right out of their neighborhood, I now have no choice but to go left across 4 lanes of traffic. I have to get into the far lane to be on the right route. In the morning, it's not a huge deal, but after work, when I'm picking my dog up, the road gets so backed up coming from the left that I often am turning somewhat blind, but cars are still flying coming from the right. It's a nightmare driving scenario. Driving in general is a little stressful for me. I'm extremely cautious of other drivers, often hyper-focused on if they are on their phones or driving too close to me. I just don't trust other drivers. Since my commute has changed, my anxiety has skyrocketed. I stress about it all day, which I know is ridiculous. Cars go way too fast on that street, and I can't shake that fear that someone is going to come flying at me. It doesn't help that I have my dog in the car at that point. I know it's just going to be a stressful situation twice a week, but I really could use an intention to stop myself from thinking about this all day and sometimes even in the days before. What do you think? I can relate to this.
I feel this. That is a turn I do not like making, like left across 4 lanes and you can't see. And sometimes it feels like the cars are never going to stop. Like I sometimes have tried to wait. I'm a very patient driver. Like I will wait until the coast is really clear. Like I'm not risky.
Right. It would be funny actually and so out of character if you just had insane road rage. Like you were just cursing people out cutting people off. Like it would just be so antithetical to your personality that it would be pretty entertaining.
No, the one road ragey thing that I do, and it's not road rage, but if someone is tailgating or beeping behind me, impatiently, I'll just go a little bit extra slowly.
So passive aggressive. Love it.
Yes, it is very passive aggressive. So that's my road rage is passive aggressive road rage.
Right. Subtle.
So I get this. I feel it. I've definitely had that moment where I'm like, are these cars ever going to stop long enough for me to make that turn? And I don't know. It seems like too easy. So maybe this isn't an option, but honestly, I don't think it's avoidance. If this is as hard of a turn as she's saying, right? There's a part of me that's maybe there's a phobia here. I don't want to encourage her to avoid this turn if it's an irrational fear. But if this is really a dangerous turn, maybe you just make the right and then turn around someplace else and just come back the other way, which I have done. I'm sure you have too. Sometimes you're like, this isn't happening. I'm just going to make a right and make a U-turn or figure this out and come back around the other way.
Find a side street that has a traffic light.
Yes.
Where it's clearly your turn to go. That's a great practical solution. For some reason, I didn't even think of that.
But because I think if it was, part of me is if that was really an option, she probably wouldn't be writing in. Or maybe she also feels am I avoiding this because I have some kind of driving phobia and I really should face it. But if that's just a solution, I wouldn't beat yourself up by being hey, I'm going to take an extra 5 minutes and I'm going to go the other way where I can hit a traffic light or I can navigate this differently. It's not worth the stress. I'm just going to do this. If that's an option, I think that's option 1.
Nothing to prove. Right.
Yes. Nothing to prove. Yeah.
Okay.
And if for some reason, which I'm sure I can't imagine a place in the world where you can't just make the right, drive down, even if you have to drive down a few minutes and turn around. Or if she is feeling she mentions, I have a little bit of driving anxiety in general. Right. So if she's kind of this isn't the turn, this is me. I've got to just kind of overcome my fear on this. One thought is no shame in get some help, be prepared, maybe talk to someone who's a really good driver, watch a video where you're okay, these are the steps of this is how this is done, right? I pull out, I look left, I look right, I look left again, whatever the thing is, like I'm going to we've talked about this before, like do your research, be as prepared as possible for like, what are the steps that I need to do this safely? And then you can feel like, okay, I'm as prepared as possible for this turn. Because I do think on your driver's ed test, you're not making a left across 4 lanes of traffic with like something blocking your view and cars flying down the road. Like it is kind of interesting that we're expected to do this when like it's not something that you're really trained to do.
Right.
So
and sometimes I'm always thinking at those like, feel like there should be a light here. Like, I don't know who determines where the traffic lights go, when it's acceptable, when it's not acceptable. But I'm like, I'm not going to do anything about this, but I think that someone should petition for a traffic light here. Yeah.
Right. Because you're never really taught, that much, like how to make these decisions where you have to make a quick move and there's cars coming in. Am I supposed to wait here for 20 minutes to get the clearing?
Right. How clear should it be?
Right. Totally.
Yeah. And I think she also says, like, I'm always worried if other drivers are like on their phone, or she seems like she has a distrust of like the other people on the road, which is, I think, generally a good defensive driving technique, not to assume that everyone knows what they're doing. But you do need to just even get on the road, some level of like trust that most people are not recklessly going to be just like slamming into you.
Right. Totally. And I guess part of it is she shouldn't, in this situation, if it's clear, she shouldn't have to trust anybody. Like there shouldn't be anyone that's like near her if she's making this turn. So I get the fear. I think, one, be as prepared as you can. There's no shame in like watching a video that can help you figure out like, okay, here's the steps on how to do this properly. I think you have to leave yourself plenty of time and not be in a rush. So like being patient and just saying, okay, if I have to sit here for 10 minutes until I feel safe making this turn, I'm going to sit here for 10 minutes until I feel safe making this turn. And I also think this sounds like a recent thing and she's probably not used to it. I'm sure that you can always kind of tell the people that live in like in your neighborhood, perfect example, like at night,
very dark.
When you leave your neighborhood, it's very dark, it's very windy, and sometimes almost feels like you can't really fit 2 cars going the same way at the same time. But you can tell who lives there because they're just like doing it. Like they're not worried about it.
No, it's a good point. I used to go like there's like 2 ways you could go out of my street, and I won't go the right way when it's dark out. I'll go the left way.
Right.
Kind of, I guess, what you said, like, because I'm like, it's windy. I don't want to like deal with seeing someone across the bend. But if you can't, if you do that every day, you kind of just know how to maneuver it.
Right. So I think the last part of my advice is like, I think it will get easier the more you do it and the more you see, okay, it's probably going to take, I'm going to have to sit here for 10 minutes until this comes clear. So just, I guess my intention for her is be prepared, be patient. It will get easier. And this is all to say she can't just make the right and go a different way. And I don't think if it's a dangerous situation, there's anything wrong with that.
I agree. It's like when you see a spot that's open, but you'd have to parallel park. I just drive past that spot. Like, not worth it for me. And
yes, the key is, and I talk to patients, and this is like a bigger picture. I think sometimes if you can just leave more time and move more slowly through your life where you're not in such a rush that you have to take that spot, because if you don't, you're going to be late.
Right.
Or like you have to make the left, like just expect that it's going to be slower. Add another 15 minutes to your commute time, move more slowly through your life. And then I think all these little things like spilling your coffee or whatever in the morning, like it's not going to activate your nervous system so much because you're like, okay, I'm just going to get a towel. I'm just going to wipe it up. It doesn't hurt. It's not painful. It just is going to take a little more time. And if I can build that in to the way I live my life, then some of these things might feel a lot less anxiety provoking when waiting or moving slowly feels less stressful.
Right. Ugh, I really should get to the airport earlier, I guess. Now that you're saying that,
Totally.
Yeah.
I think there is a piece of like, if you can leave extra time, then you can move slow. And if you show up and there's a big long line, you're like, okay, there's a big long line.
Nothing else to do.
Nothing else to do. Like if I'm waiting here to make this left, I'm waiting here to make this left. I have my music on. I'm chilling. I'll get there when I get there.
Yeah. Love it. All right.
I'm very curious. Can you please write back in and let us know if you can make a right or go a different way? I'm very curious about that.
Yes.
No shame. Let us
which
know.
way we went. Yes. Would love to know. All right.
Send us a map.
Let's do some triggers. The first one's a voicemail. Let's roll the tape.
Hi. I was calling. I have a triggered scenario for you. So to start, I am 39 weeks pregnant with my third boy. So I will have 3 under 3 very soon, which is very scary. A lot of thoughts centered around that. So my situation involves my mother. She helps me once a week with childcare. The other days my kids are in daycare. Right now I only have 2 boys, so a 3-year-old and a 1-year-old. And the 1-year-old will be turning 2 soon. But she tends to say comments quite often like, it's going to be so hard when this new baby comes, or this Monday she was watching me struggle while helping her because on the day she comes helps, I also kind of help and kind of juggle my job and the kids as well. And she's always observing and recognizes that it's going to be hard in a few weeks when this new baby comes. For me, that is very triggering. I think I responded something really rude. I said, well, I guess I should just put one of them up for adoption then, because it's a very unhelpful comment, in my opinion, to say, wow, it's going to be super hard in a few weeks. It comes across as not supportive for me. I'm very self-aware in that I'm very hormonal right now, but how triggered can I be with my mother saying, it's going to be so hard soon? Again, I don't think that's a helpful comment. But again, I feel pretty triggered by it. A lot of people in my family mention how hard my life's going to be soon, and it just gives me a lot more anxiety than I already have. Well, I love your show, and thank you for entertaining me week after week. And congrats, Jordana. I'm very excited for you. The parenthood is scary, but you're going to do great. Thank you.
It'd be funny if she was like, it's going to be really hard, Jordana.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. She just did that, but pulled it down.
Pulled it back a notch.
I'm sure, are people saying this to you about like having twins?
Too, yeah. I definitely get that a lot. But I guess because like I don't have any now, I'm kind of like,
bring it.
How hard could it be? Like, maybe if I had one that was already like really like, or two in her case,
right? I
might be like, I'm kind of like, oh yeah, like going in blind. We'll see what happens.
Yeah,
I have like nothing to compare to, but yeah, I could see why this would. I think that's an annoying comment if you're not tying it to something helpful you're going to do about that.
Right.
So if she was like, do you want me to come an extra day once the baby is born?
Yes.
Because I know it's going to be really hard.
Yes.
I would say, great.
Right.
Totally. She's anticipating, she's helping. But if it's just like, it's going to be really hard, so just keep thinking about that. I think that would be when she's already, when she's like 9 months pregnant. I think that's a triggering, it's more like irritating than triggering.
I think the intention behind it, I think she probably feels guilty, maybe the mom, like that she's not, one of two things. Either she wants to offer more help or she wants her to ask for more help, maybe. And either, she doesn't want to impose or doesn't want to offer for some reason, or she can't help and feels guilty about it. And I agree, kind of an annoying and crappy way to say maybe what she really wants to say, which is, I'm nervous for you because I can't help you and I feel really bad that I'm not going to be able to help you more. And I don't know what to do with that emotion, which I think is why she keeps kind of saying it, because I think she's having her own guilt about how hard she believes it's going to be for you and not being able to give you the support that you probably could use. So I don't think it's coming from a bad place, but I could see why just dropping that on the table with no further conversation could feel really annoying. If she was like, if it was something like, I really, you're such a great mom. I don't know how you do it. Like, I'm so impressed with you. I know this is going to be really hard, but it's going to, something positive.
Something encouraging. I know you can, right.
Yes. It'll fly by, or like you'll get to the end of it and you'll have, oh my gosh, these 3 little boys and they're going to be so close, and something positive versus just like, here's a negativity bomb, sit with that. But I think, if I'm analyzing her, it's either coming from guilt or maybe some message that she's trying to send of like, you need to get more help, but doesn't want to. I agree. There's something she's trying to communicate here and not doing a good job of it.
Yeah. And I would just say to her, like, okay, like, how would you like to help with that? How would you like to, right? Like, what is your, do you have a suggestion?
Can you help, or
do you have a suggestion because of that? Because just making the statement alone kind of feels unnecessary and unhelpful.
Yeah, totally. And I've seen this before where a parent has, disagrees with your decision. If I had to guess, she probably was like, I don't know if I would have had a third, this is already hard for you. It's hard for me. I don't really want to take on more, but I didn't get to pick if you had a third kid. So maybe she's most resentful. Annoying explanation for this is that she doesn't think you should have done this and is now just trying to kind of be like, well, you made this decision. What are you going to do about it? Kind of thing.
Like, and I told you so feeling, where she wants you to be like, I should have listened to you, or
you're right. This wasn't the best decision, which is very annoying. But yeah, I think you could say to her something like you said, do you have any suggestions on how to make it easier? Or I think you could also say, if you want to, when you say that, it actually makes me feel more anxious. And I wonder if there's like, is there something else you're trying to communicate here? Because the way that you're just saying that just makes me feel anxious and there's nothing else to it. Like, are you worried? Do you think you could help more? Maybe, I don't know if she wants to offer all this, but it might be good to have a deeper conversation with her about why she keeps saying this, so that maybe you could feel like, oh, she is feeling guilty and that's why she keeps saying that. So maybe if she can speak that out loud, she won't need to keep making this annoying comment, because you'll know how she really feels.
That's a great idea. What's your goal in saying, or what's the reason you're saying this? Yeah.
Right. Either one of those phrasings, like, what's the goal, feels like a little bit antagonistic, but that's kind of, like this, when you say that, it makes me really anxious. Why do you keep saying that? Like, and if you want to be like therapist-y about it, you could be like, is there something deeper that you're trying to have a conversation with me about? Are you bringing that up because there's some more stuff that you want to say about this new baby coming, or because the way that you're phrasing it, all it does is serve to make me feel more anxious.
I like that. I'd give this a 5, maybe a 4.
Yeah, I'll give it a 4. I think she is just sensitive. I would be too. The 4 is in no way saying like, I don't think you should, this wouldn't upset me, but it's just a comment of like, wow, this is going to be hard. I don't think she's trying to hurt you. I could see why it's upsetting, but like, I don't think she's evil for it.
Yeah. And sometimes people just kind of like say things to fill the air.
Yeah.
Almost. Because she's not thinking about how it affects you.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do one more. Do you want to read it?
I will read this last one. I have a triggered scenario for you. I'm not sure if I'm being dramatic or overly sensitive, but as Jordana says, you'll be the judge. My mom's side of the family is pretty large, 7 brothers and sisters, and each of them have a few kids. Most of them live on the East Coast nearby one another, but a few are scattered in other countries or coasts like my family and I. We have a big group with everyone, and even a few partners have been added for those married or have been together for a long time. Every time it's one of the cousins' birthdays, someone chimes into the group chat to wish them happy birthday. And you guessed it, everyone but me, LOL. At first, I thought maybe they're all closer since they live nearby. Plus, I don't expect my extended family to remember my birthday. Truthfully, I don't remember any of theirs. My brother gets a happy birthday every year, but he is a little bit closer with them, and given I don't know theirs, it didn't bother me much. But here's where the triggered comes in. This year, a non-related, non-married partner who I've never met got a happy birthday in our family chat. Someone I've never even met gets a shout out and nothing on my birthday a few weeks later. 2 of my uncles that are in that group chat texted me separately to say happy birthday, which was thoughtful, but I was confused why they wouldn't just put it in the chat. I thought it was weird considering one of them was the person who first wished the unmarried partner a happy birthday. I know this isn't true, but it felt like that person was more of a part of the family than I am. I'm writing this knowing it sounds childish, especially as a 33-year-old person, but still can't help but get irked when now this rando gets a group shout out. Love the podcast and excited to hear your point of views. Sincerely, it's my birthday and I'll leave the chat if I want to.
Can I give this like a negative score? Like, I would love this. There's nothing I hate more than like a group text happy birthday line of happy birthdays.
Right.
To me, it just feels like so just checking the box, so impersonal. Like the uncle texted her individually because he has a relationship with her, and he texted the person in the group chat because he doesn't want to have a whole conversation with them.
Right. It's almost like the reverse of what she's feeling, which is like it's more of a compliment to get the individual text than the group text.
Yes. I get absolutely nothing from being wished a happy birthday by an extended cousin of someone in a larger family group chat. Like, I would much sooner not be acknowledged personally. But I guess it means something to her. I don't know. What do you think?
Although here's the thing is I don't think for a long time, it sounds like it didn't mean anything to her. So part of me feels like, and I see this in some dynamics where like you put a certain energy in, and then when you get that energy back, you're like kind of offended. Like almost, I feel like there might be, in the beginning of all this, she was kind of like, I don't know anyone's birthday. I'm not really like a big like she was kind of not participating enthusiastically in this thing.
Yes.
That's what it sounded like. And so now that there's this like new person being entered into this, that someone is, including them, I guess long-winded, what I'm trying to say is she might have not been giving off like big birthday group chat energy. And so people might have been subtly, subconsciously, or consciously picking up on like, she's not that into this. She's not really remembering other people's birthdays. This doesn't seem like a big thing. I'm not going to make a point to make sure that I'm like remembering her birthday. I can't imagine, unless there's some big, deep family rift, that they are intentionally just excluding her from getting a birthday wish. I think it's either you're not making a big thing about your birthday, so they're not aware of it. Some people will, like whoever this new partner is, they might have been together and he might have been like, I'm having a party this weekend, or it's my birthday this weekend, or I'm so excited for my birthday, or something that.
Right. Or there's some reason for someone in the family to feel like they need to go out of their way to
like include.
Right. It could mean it's even worse for them. Like things are weird, so they want to make sure that the person's not angry at them. Like there could be so much stuff behind the scenes.
Totally. Like I just think that there probably is like some way that you have participated or not participated in this chat that people are not feeling like it's a good thing, like afraid of what's going to happen if they don't wish you a happy birthday here, like that you probably wouldn't care. Like for you, for example, like I know that you probably could care less or couldn't care less if I wished you a happy birthday on like the group chat. So like,
Right.
if I see that come through, I'm not going to be like, I have to remember to put like to say happy birthday to Jordana in this because like she might get really offended or upset if I don't. So I probably maybe have it, but didn't like make a mental note to do it because I know you don't really care. But there might be other people where like, I know that if someone doesn't, they're going to like keep score and be upset and it's going to be a thing. And so I'll make more of a point. Right. So I think if you've been like a little bit lower on the participation level, that might have just been the vibe that people are picking up on.
Right.
And now you've made your bed that you're like not that into this. And so now you're, like whoever's the one that's like doing the initiating of these, like that's the person that you really need to wish them when it's their turn.
The uncle that texted her.
Yes.
That's what I'm like. That's the person she said initiated the other text. So it's like that person's really into the birthday text group chat.
Yes.
So
get on top of that. It means a lot to him. I think it sounds like you've set a precedent that this isn't a big thing for you and you don't really care about this. So now that's what you're kind of getting back.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't take this personally. I think this is it's like gift giving in some ways. It's like some people where this is a type of thing that like means a lot. And maybe this new partner, it probably does mean a lot more because they're like, yes, I'm being included in the family chat. Like that's a big deal. Where for you, you're like, all right, this wasn't a big deal until this outsider kind of was.
Right. Like, wait. I'm
right. Now I
don't want to be
text.
Lapped by this person in terms of something, whatever. Yeah. I give this a -2. I stick with my guns. I would enjoy this personally.
Yeah. I get it. What I do think is if you're realizing that this actually does mean something to you, I think you have to more actively participate in this.
Yes. Send an emoji to the next birthday person.
Send an emoji, send a
more
little
active
note.
in it.
Yeah. I totally agree. If this is making you realize like, I want this, this matters to me, then you've got to be an active participant in it rather than being like a passive receiver that's going to sit back, do the bare minimum, and then expect that you're going to get more than what you're giving. And she says she doesn't remember other people's birthdays, admittedly. So, and if you don't feel like doing that, then kind of there's your answer.
Right. Then you just need to get over it.
Right. I get for some people, this is a thing, the idea of feeling like excluded, like everyone else is getting it, but her. I think the underlying thing is she feels like maybe they're all closer. The threat here is like, they're all closer. They like each other more. People don't like me as much. They don't feel as close to me. I think that's the wound that's being touched here. And if that's not a thing in any other way, except for this group chat, then I would let it go and I'll give it like a 2. I'll give it a 3. Some people like you might feel just excluded. But if you feel okay with this in every other aspect of like these relationships, or if you don't feel close, I think it's important to think about what you're putting in, that they might be getting together. Maybe they're having phone calls.
She said her brother's closer, so maybe he's doing that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So like if you want to get this stuff back, you're going to have to put in on your end too. And if you're not willing to do that, then maybe you're like, okay, this is what the dynamic is. I don't get the group chat, but I also don't have to like call Aunt Susan and tell her about my promotion.
Right. If that's not something you want to do.
Yeah, I get it. I do get the check the box of the group birthday chat thing too.
Do you like a happy birthday group text? I can start initiating those.
No, I don't. I prefer an individual. I don't really
meaningful text.
Love it. It does make me miss your dad because he was always
Oh,
like
yeah, he
3
was a good
days
guy.
before the birthday. He would be like, don't forget, it's Jordana's birthday
Right.
on Friday.
Yes.
It's like not even.
He would text everyone. He would make a separate group chat for everyone but that person to let them know it was coming up.
Yes. Yeah.
Which was sweet, but
really,
you know,
really sweet.
a lot.
But
yeah.
it's, I think to each their own, but yeah, I'll give it a 2.5.
Okay. Agree to disagree.
All right.
Thank you guys so much for a great year of oversharing. More to come next year. We're excited. And thank you for listening. And keep us apart. Keep us in your ears throughout 2026.
Yeah, totally. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm so thankful to our listeners. I really, really am. Like, as I step back in gratitude, and like I said, being able to do this and knowing that you guys like it and being able to interact with everybody, I'm really, really grateful. I know we wouldn't be able to do this without you guys. So I'm just really thankful. And for everybody who writes in with these really interesting, nuanced situations in their life that are both unique and relatable, I really appreciate everyone who writes in. So we don't take you for granted. Keep that coming. And yeah, love you guys.
Yes. Thank you.
All right. That's our time.
Great work today.